Here's something that's been sitting in plain sight for decades, and almost nobody talks about it. Banks make money when you don't save. They make even more money when you save wrong. And they've spent billions designing systems, products, and habits that keep you doing exactly what benefits them, not you. This isn't conspiracy. It's just business. Their business. And that's why the savings system I'm about to break down isn't taught in schools, isn't advertised on billboards, and definitely isn't mentioned by your bank's friendly customer service rep. Because the moment you understand it, you stop being profitable to them. Let's get into it. There's a belief most Americans carry around without ever questioning it. The belief goes like this: saving money is about discipline. If you're not saving enough, you're not trying hard enough. You need more willpower, more sacrifice, more saying no to things you want. That framing is everywhere. Financial gurus love it. Banks love it even more. But here's the flaw nobody mentions. Willpower is a terrible saving strategy. It's like trying to lose weight by staring at a donut and hoping you won't eat it. Eventually, you eat the donut. Every time. The people who actually build savings, real savings, the kind that changes your options in life, they don't rely on discipline. They rely on systems. Specifically, systems designed to work against their own worst impulses. And the most effective system? Banks know about it. They just don't want you using it. Let me introduce you to Marcus. Marcus is 34, lives in Columbus, Ohio, works as a logistics coordinator for a mid-sized company, makes about $62,000 a year before taxes. After taxes, health insurance, and his 401k contribution, he takes home around $3,800 a month. Not rich, not poor, solidly middle class. For years, Marcus tried to save the way most people do. He'd pay his bills, spend throughout the month, and then try to save whatever was left at the end. Some months that was $300. Some months it was nothing. Most months, honestly, it was closer to nothing. He wasn't irresponsible. He didn't have crazy expenses. He just had a system that was designed to fail. Here's why. When you save what's left over, you're betting against human psychology. Money sitting in a checking account feels spendable. It looks spendable. Your brain treats it as available, and available money gets spent. Not because you're weak, because that's how brains work. Banks know this. That's why they keep your checking and savings accounts connected. That's why transfers are instant. That's why they send you alerts about your available balance instead of your protected savings. Everything is engineered to keep money moving, because moving money means fees, overdrafts, and interest on credit cards when you overspend. Marcus was playing their game. He just didn't know it. So what changed? Marcus stumbled onto something called the 24-hour invisibility method. Sounds fancy, but it's stupidly simple. Here's how it works. The day after his paycheck hits, not the same day, but 24 hours later, a fixed amount automatically transfers to a savings account at a completely different bank. Not a different account at the same bank, a different institution entirely. Why the delay? Because same-day transfers feel like the money was never yours. You don't miss it. But 24 hours later, your brain has already registered that paycheck as your money. When it disappears, there's a tiny psychological sting. And that sting, it actually reinforces the saving behavior. Your brain starts associating payday with, this is when I pay myself first. Why a different bank? Because friction matters. When your savings account is one click away from your checking account, it's not really savings. It's just money in a different bucket. But when accessing that money requires logging into a separate app, waiting for a transfer, maybe even a 1 to 3 business day delay, suddenly it's protected, not by willpower, by inconvenience. Marcus set up an account with an online bank. No physical branches, no instant transfers to his main checking, just a place where money goes and sits. He started with $400 a month. Not a huge amount, about 10% of his take-home. Here's where the math gets interesting. $400 a month is $4,800 a year. In just over 2 years, Marcus crossed $10,000 saved. But that's not the blueprint. That's just basic addition. The blueprint is what happens next. Once Marcus hit $5,000, he moved half into a high-yield savings account paying around 4.5% APY. Not a CD, not locked up, just a regular savings account at an online bank that actually pays reasonable interest. At 4.5%, $5,000 earns about $225 a year. Not life-changing, but here's the key. That's money Marcus did nothing for. It showed up while he slept, while he worked, while he watched TV. When he hit 10,000, that passive income jumped to around $450 a year. Still not retirement money, but enough to cover a car repair, a medical bill, a broken appliance, the exact things that used to send Marcus reaching for credit cards. And that's the real shift. Not the interest itself, the buffer it creates. Most Americans are one bad month away from debt, one unexpected expense away from sliding backwards. That's not a character flaw, it's a system flaw. When you have no buffer, every surprise becomes an emergency, and emergencies get expensive. Late fees, overdraft charges, credit card interest at 22%. The average American pays over $1,000 a year just in interest and fees on reactive borrowing. That's money disappearing into the bank's pockets, money that could have been yours. Marcus stopped that leak, not by earning more,
Not by spending less on coffee, just by building a buffer that absorbed the shocks. 10,000 in savings doesn't make you rich, but it makes you stable. And stability changes everything. Let's translate this into time. Marcus earns roughly $22 an hour after taxes. $10,000 represents about 454 hours of his life. That's nearly 3 months of full-time work just sitting in an account, protecting him. Before the buffer, every emergency cost him future time. He'd borrow, pay interest, and spend the next several months working just to get back to zero. Now, emergencies cost him present money, which hurts less and recovers faster. This is what banks don't advertise. They want you borrowing for emergencies. That's where their profit lives. Here's the uncomfortable part. The savings blueprint isn't hidden because it's complicated. It's hidden because it's unprofitable. For them. Banks make almost nothing when you save correctly. High-yield online savings accounts have razor-thin margins. They'd rather you keep money in a traditional savings account paying 0.01% while they lend it out at 7%. They'd rather you overdraft 3 times a month at $35 a pop. They'd rather you carry a credit card balance and pay them $200 a month in interest. Your financial instability is their revenue model. So what's the actual blueprint? Step 1. Open a savings account at a different bank. Online banks usually offer better rates and more friction. Step 2. Set up automatic transfers for 24 hours after each payday. Start with whatever you can, even $100. The amount matters less than the consistency. Step 3. Don't touch it. Treat that account like it doesn't exist, except for genuine emergencies. A sale at Target is not an emergency. Step 4. Once you hit 5,000, move half into the highest yield option available. Let it work. Step 5. Keep going until you hit 10,000. Then keep going past that. The first 10 is the hardest. The next 10 is easier. The 10 after that is almost automatic. Here's what nobody tells you about money. The goal isn't wealth, not at first. The goal is options. 10,000 in savings means you can leave a bad job without panic. You can handle a health scare without spiraling. You can say no to things that don't serve you because you're not desperate. That's not freedom in some abstract motivational poster sense. That's actual, practical Wednesday afternoon freedom. The kind where your boss says something unreasonable and you don't flinch because you know you're not trapped. Banks don't sell that. They sell convenience, speed, and access, all things designed to keep money flowing away from you. The blueprint is the opposite. Slow money down, hide it from yourself, let friction be your ally. That's the system. Not complicated, not secret, just deliberately ignored by everyone who profits from your confusion. Now you know.